welcome to our last short video in our series on thesis statements. This one is all about putting your thesis statement together. So by now, you should have a claim for your thesis statement, and you should have brainstormed 4 pieces of possible evidence to support your claim, or more. Now it's decision time. Out of these pieces of evidence that you've brainstormed, which 3 do you think most strongly support your claim? Here's another way to look at it. Which 3 pieces of evidence do you think you feel most confident about exploring, explaining, and analyzing in the essay? In the spaces provided below, list the 3 pieces of evidence that you want to include in your literary analysis essay. Refer back to your brainstorming in the previous many lessons and in your graphic organizer to make your final selection. And yes, this means you are throwing out pieces of evidence that you have previously brainstormed, but having options is a good thing. So you can identify your evidence here or on another piece of paper if that's what you're choosing to do. Now, consider, after you have written down these pieces of evidence, how you will order this evidence in your essay. As a rule of thumb, it is always best to order the evidence as follows. Your strongest evidence is in body paragraph 1. Your weakest evidence is in your body paragraph number 2, and your second strongest evidence is in paragraph number 3. You start and end with strength. So, look back at your list of evidence above and decide which evidence is the strongest, weakest, and second strongest. Then, write the body paragraph number next to that piece of evidence. This is important because you will list your evidence in your final thesis statement in the exact order that it will appear in the body of the essay. By doing this, you are outlining the main points of your essay for your reader and establishing their reading expectations. This strategy will also help you, the writer, to keep your ideas organized throughout the writing process. So, your thesis statement. It is now time to put your entire thesis statement together. You have arrived. This is the moment you have been waiting for. A thesis statement is no joke. It takes quite a bit of work to develop one that is clear, logical, and argumentative. And again, it's the roadmap for your entire essay, and this is why we've spent so much time putting it together. So, putting it all together, directions. I want you to review these sample thesis statements and then write your own original thesis statement in the spaces provided. Be sure to include the title of the piece of literature, the author's full name, the claim, and of course, the evidence in the order you have decided upon. So again, include the title. Oof, geez Louise. Include the title, the author's full name, the claim, and of course, the evidence. Sample thesis statement number 1. Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness. Title, author, reveals that a departure from civilization leads to barbaric behavior. We have our claim here, as shown, or leads to, the symbol of the river, the imagery of the middle station, and Marlowe's descent into madness. Strong thesis. Symbol of the river, imagery of middle station, Marlowe's descent into madness, evidence. Sample thesis statement 2. A lack of balance between sense and sensibility leads to disappointment, as shown in Jane Austen's Sense and Sensibility, through the propriety of Eleanor Dashwood, the romantic nature of Margaret Dashwood, and the resolution of the novel. So here we start off, we have our author kind of in the middle, author and title of the text in the middle of our sentence. We have our claim right at the beginning, and then we have our evidence, which is propriety of Eleanor Dashwood, romantic nature of Margaret, and the resolution. Another strong thesis, slightly differently phrased and differently ordered, but has all the requisite pieces. And our sample thesis statement number 3, Robert Frost's poem, The Road Not Taken, so again, leading off with our author and our text, proves that choosing the easier path in life leads to disappointment. We have our claim. As shown through the imagery of the 2 roads, evidence 1, the narrator's plan to lie in the future, as well as the narrator's tone shift. So we have evidence piece number 2 and evidence piece number 3 here. So you can see all of these follow this basic structure. It has that leads to format. We've got our claim, and our evidence. Very clear. Very easily done. Now it's your turn. Write your thesis statement in the space provided above using the samples as models and using any of the other thesis statements we've looked at. For example, the 2 essays that we read as our examples or as our samples as well. Get your thesis down on paper here. When you are done your thesis statement, this has been probably one of the only times I'm going to ask you to share with me your essay before you actually hand it in. I want you to share your thesis statement with me, okay? So once you have it figured out, even if you have like 2 or 3 options, right? If you're not sure which one's the best, send them to me, whether it's in a chat, probably in a chat is the easiest and the best. Send them to me so that I can review them, give you feedback. And again, make sure that you are on the right path. I don't want you to have a weak thesis. If you can write a strong thesis by the end of your grade 11 ELA 20 course, then I will be very happy. Your work in grade 12 and whatever you choose to do beyond will just be a lot easier, and you'll have a lot more success. Okay, so share your thesis statement with me, please, once you have developed it. Thank you.